Good morning, everyone. It's Lindsey Huddleston with SPS back in the building. Another SPS Monday Motivation on this cold Monday. Read the temperature earlier. It said 42. Man, I was just last week earlier. I was just outside with a short sleeve shirt on doing the presentation. But hey, it is Michigan. It's that time. We are into October. What do you think it's going to be? But we might get a hot summer day, tomorrow. You know how that goes. But hope you guys had a great weekend. I had a wonderful weekend. As a divorcee, this was the weekend I had with my daughter, and it was a good time. I'm getting in trouble. We had a wonderful weekend. Good time playing Monopoly, hanging out, did some shopping. I mean, it was all this cool stuff. Who is this right now? My brother Kevin Marshall up getting it. Good morning, my brother. Good morning, you too. Appreciate you, brother. I hope you enjoying things. Things are going well. I want to shout out my daughter. We had a little daddy-daughter little disagreement. And she was upset with me. And I saw this and I said, this is my baby being upset. I'm going to show her this and she going to kill me. But this is my baby Madeline being mad at me. Oh, I love you, sweetheart. So with that being said, this might be my last Monday Motivation. And if something happened to me, if my brakes go out, check my daughter. If my daughter may have done it. So with that being said, what's today's Monday Motivation? I'm excited to share this because it comes from a personal experience and it was validated this morning. Got up early this morning to go make some moves, and there was a young person I came in contact with that I was reminded of. But what is today's Monday Motivation? Can you stay down until you come up? What? Can you stay down until you come up? Good morning, Michelle Mimi Watkins. How are you? Smiley face. Yeah, you see the stuff I'm going through. Being a daddy, raising a daughter, I love my baby. But can you stay down until you come up? I'm not trying to confuse you with the statement. I just want you to think about that concept. When it's something you focused on, when it's a goal that you have, can you stay down until you get it? Got my brother Aaron Mays in the building. I know what's up with you, man. It's that hoop time coming around. You love them Spartans and all that, man. It's good to hear from you. I'm going to be talking to Coach Harlan Barnett this afternoon. I got a question already for him. Just curious to know. Praying for me. Yeah, praying for you. Thank you. Pray for me. Because I'm going to get in trouble. But that's my baby, though. But, talking about a goal, I always admire my mom. She'll say something like, for example, my grandmother, the late Madeline Bryant, you see her right over my shoulder in the photo right over there next to my late brother. She moved into her home on the east side of Detroit and did a wonderful job. My mother did. The home was already beautiful, but just a wonderful job in restoring the home. And people who know me, grew up with me, like Dr. John Higgins, who make going to the house, it's just like a palace. It's beautiful. And it's no cap. I'll take some pictures one day. But I can always remember my mom saying, yeah, I'm about to work on this part, And she'll have a short-term project and a long-term project. So she would stay down until she came up on something. She would make some sacrifices. But on a bigger scale, let's talk about educational goals. I had to go back to school to get my master's and go through the process of dealing with life and, extending that experience. But to have my master's, you see it over my shoulder. And now to start the PhD program, to take some time off and be ready to get right back into it. And I ran into a person that was one of my former students. I'm going to keep this unisex as far as I don't want to reveal who they are because they may see this later. And they're working somewhere that's not really reflective of where they should be and where their goals are based on how bright this person is. And I spoke to that, and we talked about it. And that person just talked about trying to figure things out. And it wasn't a matter of being in school, but just kind of figuring out what the major was going to be, all these things. But what I want to talk about is that when you have a goal, you have to be willing to stay down till you come up. Easier said than done because so many things happen, life events happen. It was a life event that caused me to be out to end up running into this person. But you need to stay anchored in the moment. Anchored in the moment of the goal that you have because all these things are going to be going on around you and it's easy to lose sight and move on and go somewhere. So you have to have this attitude of you're going to just stay anchored. You got to be locked down like an anchor in this goal that you have. Let's look at an actual anchor. I thought this was interesting. You got the anchor locker, you got the secondary brittle and all those things, the primary brittle. But you see how it just moors this catamaran. It gets and locks it in. Can you be anchored in the moment? And it's going to be important because you're going to have to determine between now, the past, and the present. I saw this cool meme on social media. It said, be loyal to your future, not to your past. Too many times we become loyal to the past. And many times it's not our original reason to be that. It's other people I heard TD Jakes say, the worst thing is trying to come up around people who grew up with, because they keep talking about, I knew you when, and psychologically that can have an impact. But whatever goals that you have, that big goal that the world needs you to accomplish, you need to be present in the problem. Sometimes it's going to take some issues. It may be a financial challenge. It may be some personal issues going on. But there's a growth opportunity there, folks. I know we don't like to go through these problems, but there's a growth opportunity when you stay present in that moment and try to work through it. Because as Coach Mimi Watkins knows, as Coach Kevin Marshall knows, winning solves everything. Aaron knows that when you win it, oh yeah, we look over all the issues, But what about staying in that moment? Michelle says, use every moment to learn, because lessons can be found in every moment. And that's wisdom right there. We don't like it. We don't want to hear it. We're trying to just move on to the next. But when you have to have that transition period, which I'm going to talk about a little bit more in a second, when you stay in it, that's when you learn those lessons. That's when you can get into the granular part of it. That's when you can get into the corners, which is a Monday motivation I talked about a long time ago. That's when you can really pay attention and think about things in a way that you wouldn't if you just went past it. Kevin says it's a grind, but if you believe, you have to stay locked in to make it happen. Yeah, that's why I always talk about on this platform, man. Find something that you really believe in, that you can really get behind, This is where true power is cemented. That's right, when you have in that moment, when you're trying to figure out what's going on. So I talked to Aaron about this a lot. He's always posing the question, well, how do you do it? We're talking about something called present moment awareness that can make life more meaningful. This was in Psychology Today. At mindfulness.com. Present moment awareness and how that can make life more meaningful. What we're talking about here is when we practice present moment awareness, we can savor each moment, make time feel like it's passing slower, oh wow, and get in touch with the fundamental wonder of being alive. Yeah, I know sometimes we don't want to hear, we just want to get to the next stage, whether you transition to a new opportunity, you just want to get there. But in that time in between, if you really sit down, that's when you can kind of figure out, okay, how am I going to manage any issues? How am I going to be ready to respond to things while I'm not just jumping the gun on this new opportunity, but really thinking it through? Michelle says, planting season, growing season, harvest season. Look at you, Michelle. You need to be sitting right here next to me. Planting season, growing season, and harvest season. Recognize what season you're in. That is awesome. Recognizing what season you're in. And if you recognize that, it'll make the situation make more sense. Hey, I'm telling you, for me lately, just working on some things, growing, I'll get to the point where that anxiety will start coming. And I need this present moment awareness to help me manage and get to this. Because what? One side effect of a transition is anxiety. Getting ready for something to happen. You want it to happen. You can even have a date coming up. It doesn't matter. You want to get to it. It doesn't really matter. You want to get to that moment. I didn't say I was going to talk about this, but the reality is I'm going to be having some surgery. Minor surgery. My meniscus is giving me a problem. I had a little tear, so probably at the end of the month, 1st of November, I'll be having some surgery. I don't really have anxiety for it, but it's a date that I can look at and say, wow, man, what's going to happen between there? So I need to work on managing myself so I don't have any anxiety with all the other things going on in my life. For example, anxiety manifests itself through nervous behaviors such as eating too much or too little, watching too much television, playing the games, fidgeting, procrastination. Anxiety can impact you in so many ways, right? Kevin Marshall sends up a prayer for your brother. I appreciate you, brother. Yeah, I feel good about it, but anytime you got to go under, you want that to be the case. And I said I wouldn't talk about it, but, you guys are my family as well, and I'll let you guys know how that goes. But I think it's really important, folks, that we keep in mind these things going forward as it relates to, having a goal and being able to achieve that goal. And at the end of the day, just come back to these simple basic principles that are free. Just breathe, take that deep breath. It's helped me so much over the last few weeks with all the things I had going on, when I feel myself, being overcome with anxiety. Take some deep breath, and it brings me back centered to the moment. I know that's been a theme I've had over the last few weeks, but I think it's important. I mean, this is that time, folks. We're getting into the holiday season. Thanksgiving, Christmas, whether it's anxiety of being around them people, missing loved ones, or just the idea of that time of reflection, because things really slow down. So it's important. Also, getting some exercise, whether you preparing for a marathon or you just walking around the block. I got Whole Foods close to me, about 5 minutes away. I always park pretty far out. One, because I don't even want to be parking too close to people in the truck. But secondly, it just make me walk. It focuses that. And then good sleep. Gone is the attitude of the day that I got to grind, I got to stay up all night. No, get some rest so you can be productive with the time that you have. So what I just want to tell you guys is that, can you stay down until you come up? Whatever goal you have, there's going to be some trying times. There's going to be some things that throw you off schedule. I was just trying to be really mindful of how I was going to be budgeting, because I'm going to homecoming this weekend. Should be a good time, but then things come up. My mom said there's always going to be something, but I'm grateful that as the things come up, I can take care of that. Michelle says, pausing is what I'm working on. Every minute doesn't have to be filled with being busy. Oh, Michelle, that's a powerful statement. And I know that's really, unique because I know that you're a very proactive individual. I say that with all due respect. So pausing, slowing down for a second. It's a proactive thing to have to do. Easier said than done because we're so cemented and moving, going. But I agree with you on that. Pausing, taking a moment. I think that's very important. There's power in that. And also perspective. Because the things that we can be so worried about. I mean, I was riding my bicycle yesterday. I always emphasize bicycle. I don't want people to think I have a motorcycle. Not that I wouldn't want to do that. My mom used to ride a motorcycle, her and my dad. But I was at the light, Okemos and Grand River, for people familiar with this area, very busy intersection, and I saw an accident. I saw my man in the F-150 run the light and ran into this young lady in the Mitsubishi, tore her ride up. The F-150 did pretty good considering everybody walked away from it without any physical injuries, but the conversation became, even if it's a green light and it's your right away, you still may want to slow down because you don't know what the other person has going on. And that's in the physical sense. But in the mental sense, we need to kind of pause a little bit, kind of relax a little bit, kind of fall back a little bit as we work on these next things, so not to let this anxiety overcome us. Hey, I am just so happy with what happened. I want to give a special shout out. Kevin, this is a book you may want to check out too, my guy. Coach Don Showalter. It's so ironic. I posted this on Twitter. That's back in 2017. Kevin, that's the same room we were in, the Elliott Suite at Oakland University for BCAM. That was 6 years ago when Coach Showalter from USA Basketball came to present. And I was going to BCAM for the first time. And here it is 6 years later. You were a witness that I was there. He has this great book that's out right now called Cornfields to Gold Medals. He's from Iowa, but he's the most winningest coach with USA Basketball under 16. He's coached guys like Jason Tatum. The list goes on to these guys who've gone to become pros and do great things. And it was great to start reading his book and staying focused. And also, on Friday, I'm going to be representing for the PSL League Championship game. Shout out to Coach Jimmy Macon and his Trailblazers from Central who will be playing in the Gold Division game. And I believe the Blue Division will be none other than Cass Tech and King High School. But SPS will be in the building for that before I head to homecoming on Saturday. And lastly, my brother, Kevin said, okay, I'm going to check that out. Yeah, it's on Amazon. You can pick it up off Amazon. It seems to be a good read. I mean, he started off talking about his days hooping. It's like Hoosiers, right? But it gets us up to the present day. It's been a good thing. So with that being said, I appreciate you guys on this Monday Motivation. Can you stay down until it's time to come up? Stay focused on that goal that you have. It's going to be some challenge in between, but just work on your breathing. Work on being present, moment, aware, and all those type of things. And I think you will be able to manage and go do it. I appreciate your time. My brother Jimmy, make it right there. Hey, man. Hey. Interviewed you at the beginning of the season. I want to interview you at the end, man. So go ahead and stay focused, brother Macon, Coach Macon. Shout out to those Central Trailblazers, man. I know you guys got it going, man. You go ahead and do what you came to do and make that happen. And I'll receive you on the other end. Appreciate the love and support, but I know it's going to be a good week for you guys. And just keep it up. With that being said, Lindsey Hustle with SPS. We'll see you guys in a minute. Peace out. He said, gotcha. Thanks. That's right. Take care, guys.